Martin Luther King Jr. Day proclamation. Mr. Clerk.
Thank you, Mayor. Proclamation from the Office of Mayor Quill, whereas Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. devoted his life to advancing equality, social justice, and opportunity for all, and challenged all Americans to participate in the never-ending work of building a more perfect union. And whereas Dr. King's teachings can continue to guide and inspire us in addressing challenges in our communities. And whereas the King Holiday and Service Act, enacted in 1994, designated the King Holiday as a national day of volunteer service and charged the Corporation for National Service with leading the effort. And whereas since 1994, millions of Americans have been inspired by the life and work of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. to serve their neighborhoods and communities on the King Holiday. And whereas serving on the King Holiday is an appropriate way to honor Dr. King, through service we can build more equitable and just communities to underpin racial equality, expand civic opportunities, and foster respect for individual differences. And whereas the MLK Day of Service is the only federal holiday commemorated as a National Day of Service and offers an opportunity for Americans to give back by participating in community service in honor of Dr. King's dream of a beloved community, and make an ongoing commitment to service throughout the year. And whereas each of us can and must contribute, support, and implement projects that increase economic opportunities, improve education, support veterans and military families, help combat the opioid crisis, and help communities prepare for and recover from disasters. And whereas citizens of the city of Auburn have the opportunity to participate in events throughout our city on the MLK Day of Service, January 16, 2023, as well as create and implement community service projects where they identify the need. Now therefore, Michael D. Quill, Mayor of the City of Auburn, on behalf of the City Council and citizens of Auburn, does hereby proclaim January 16, 2023 as a day of service in honor of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
Thank you. With us this evening, I believe we have Pastor Robert Wilson. Pastor, are you here to receive the proclamation?
Thank you, sir. Mr. Mayor, council members, all other officials in your respective positions, and to the community members, I accept this award humbly on behalf of all individuals and social justice entities, not only in this community, but all communities, who have stood in the gap to uphold the legacy of Dr. King and all other men and women of valor, who laid the path for those who endeavor to walk in their shoes. You know, our efforts haven't been without a lot of consternation and trepidation due to division, chaos, confusion, and discordant elements that plague our cities, states, and our country. We will continue to endeavor to uphold and enfold those who suffer the indignities and trauma brought on by racism, hate, prejudice in this country. I refer to those who feel left out, criticized, ostracized, marginalized, and disenfranchised. I can imagine Dr. King and others who've gone on before us turning over in their graves. The effort, the struggle, and sacrifice of these mighty men and women seem to be eroding right in front of our faces. The division in our country, especially our government, is sad and sickening. Sad and sickening. Governance is about people and making life better for all. But it seems that it's all about selfish ambition, vainglory, power, and control at this point in time, which has led to needless violence, killing. It's not safe in our schools, not safe walking in the mall, not safe eating in restaurants, not safe walking the streets, not safe in our own homes due to stray bullets. Women's choices are being eroded, and I can go on and on for ad infinitum. But I digress with a prophetic word for our country and nation, and that is we should all be encouraged, stay up, be of good cheer, don't lose heart, because this light affliction is but for a moment. And you know, there's a greater power than us working for us, and things shall get better. And this too shall pass. It's up to each of us individually and collectively to do our part in upholding Dr. King's legacy. And I know that this sounds, these mundane, pious platitudes, but we must speak those things that aren't as though they were, and they will come to pass. And remember one thing lastly, love conquers all. Thank you very much, and be blessed.